Winning the Revolution. After the long, tough winter at Valley Forge and the formal intervention of the French in February of 1778, the soldiers who survived had received new training and assistance from the new military leaders that joined the Patriots' cause. French intervention, when one nation enters the affairs of another, changed the war. Now Britain had two battles to fight, one against the colonists and one against the French. Britain sent thousands of troops to the Caribbean to attack the French colonies, and this left fewer troops to fight in North America. Also, Washington had gained the assistance of many skilled European soldiers who helped him train the inexperienced continental troops. Most of the first battles of the war had been fought in the Northeast. The battles that decided the outcome of the war took place in Georgia and the Carolinas. The British wanted the battles to move to the south because they believed the areas were full of loyalists ready to fight for the British. They were wrong. Most loyalists were too afraid of their patriot neighbors to fight, and many still remained neutral or chose to stay out of the war. Still, the British seemed to win important battles in such places, shown below. Even though the British won in the cities, they were losing in the countryside because of patriot fighters like Francis Marion. His nickname was the Swamp Fox because he was as clever and quick as a fox. He and his small band of men knew the Carolina countryside well and attacked the British with hit and run raids. General Nathanael Greene had taken over command of the American Continental Army in the South. Prior to General Greene's command, the war in the South had not been going very well. But Greene put in some of these new hit and run tactics that Marion and his men were using. That resulted in American victories and caused the British Army to retreat to the East Coast. Of all the battles in the Carolinas, Greene said, "We fight, get beat, rise, and fight again." These new fighting methods left the British at a loss. They liked to fight the traditional battles in which two armies stood still, faced each other, and shot. These battles showed that the most powerful army in the world was no longer winning. We fight, get beat, rise, and fight again. Surrender at Yorktown. British General Cornwallis retreated to Yorktown, Virginia, where he thought his troops would be safe. Washington marched south from New York with thousands of French and Patriot soldiers. The French Navy sailed north from the Caribbean to meet him. The British Army was now surrounded at Yorktown. They were greatly outnumbered by the French and American troops. For 11 days, the American forces they bombed the British. Finally, Cornwallis sent out the white flag for surrender. He originally made a lot of demands to George Washington for his surrender, but Washington didn't agree. When the American troops started to prepare for another attack, Cornwallis agreed to Washington's terms and the battle was over. On October 19, 1781, he was forced to surrender. He gave up and admitted he was defeated.